Ancient Sumer, nestled in southern Mesopotamia, was the world's first civilization, pioneering the foundations of urban life, technology, governance, and culture. The people of Sumer harnessed the power of their rivers, inventing sophisticated irrigation to transform arid land into fertile fields. Irrigation canals, some stretching miles, were vital lifelines, designed and maintained by the earliest engineers. The rise of city-states like Uruk and Ur turned southern Mesopotamia into a vibrant hub of commerce, culture, and innovation. These cities featured massive temples known as ziggurats, bustling markets, and neighborhoods buzzing with craftsmen creating pottery, weaving textiles, and forging copper and bronze tools. Trade routes stretched far beyond Mesopotamia, connecting Sumerians with distant lands. This exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies fueled cultural diffusion and economic prosperity. Perhaps Sumer's most revolutionary gift to humankind was writing. Around 3200 BCE, they developed cuneiform, a system of wedge-shaped marks pressed into clay tablets. Initially created for record-keeping, writing evolved into a medium for literature, science, and law. The epic tales of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature, emerged from these scripts, as did legal codes that formed the basis for justice and social order. These early governments organized labor for grand building projects, maintained irrigation systems, and enforced laws, laying the groundwork for civilization's complex structures. Their innovations in administration and record-keeping are the ancestors of today's government bureaucracy. Life in Sumer was rich and multifaceted. People enjoyed music, dance, and festivals honoring gods and seasons. Education was valued, with scribes playing a crucial role in sustaining knowledge. Religion permeated daily life, with numerous deities representing natural forces and cultural ideals. As we conclude this chapter on ancient Sumer's origins, we've seen how the fusion of agriculture, technology, governance, and culture sparked the dawn of civilization. In the next part, we will delve into Sumerian innovations that changed the world, the invention of writing, monumental architecture, and law. One of ancient Sumer's most revolutionary legacies is the invention of writing. Around 3200 BCE, the Sumerians created cuneiform, the world's first known writing system. Initially developed to keep business and agricultural records, cuneiform transformed communication, preserving history, laws, literature, and scientific knowledge for millennia to come. Scribes were highly trained and respected, forming the intellectual backbone of Sumerian society. Their tablets chronicled trade, administered laws, and even captured the human experience through epic stories. Among the most famous works preserved in cuneiform is the Epic of Gilgamesh, a profound narrative of heroism, friendship, and the search for immortality. This ancient storytelling masterpiece offers insights into Sumerian values, religion, and dreams, bridging a connection across time to our own human questions. Alongside writing's advent came the foundation of law and governance. Sumerian city-states enforced complex legal systems. Some of the earliest known laws aimed at fairness, property rights, and social order. These pioneering codes paved the way for later lawgivers, such as Hammurabi, influencing justice systems throughout history. Sumerians also reshaped the architectural landscape with monumental structures called ziggurats, massive step pyramids dedicated to gods, symbolizing divine authority and community strength. These architectural feats required advanced engineering skills and organized labor, reflecting Sumer's social complexity. Religion and governance intertwined deeply in the ziggurat complexes, centers for worship and administration. Priest-kings orchestrated rituals to appease gods like Anu, Enlil, and Inanna, believed to control the forces of nature and human destiny. Sumerian innovation extended to the economic realm with sophisticated trade networks connecting the Fertile Crescent to distant lands. Cylinder seals, a kind of ancient signature, protected transactions, showcasing early concepts of identity and property. Through writing, law, and monumental architecture, Sumer laid the foundation for civilization's pillars. These innovations carried humanity forward, changing how people communicate, govern, worship, and build. The fabric of ancient Sumerian civilization was woven by its vibrant and complex society. Farmers, artisans, priests, rulers, and merchants, all playing essential roles. Let's step into the daily lives of these pioneer city dwellers and see how their interconnected roles sustained one of humanity's earliest great civilizations. Agriculture was the backbone of Sumerian life. Farmers skillfully controlled the Tigris and Euphrates through irrigation canals, ensuring fertile soil for staple crops like barley and wheat. Domesticated animals such as oxen and donkeys were indispensable partners in farming and transport. Alongside farming, artisans shaped everyday culture. Potters created vessels for trade and storage. Weavers produced intricate textiles. Metalworkers fashioned bronze tools and weapons that advanced technology and warfare. Homes were simple yet bustling spaces where women cared for households, preparing food and weaving cloth. Education was valued, especially in cities. Young scribes studied cuneiform and arithmetic in Edubas, the earliest schools, ensuring the continuation of knowledge. Religion was central and communal. Grand temples and ziggurats were sites of worship where priests led rituals. Music, dance, and poetry were not just entertainment. They honored the gods and brought communities together in vibrant festivals linked to seasons and beliefs. Despite its achievements, Sumerian life involved constant vigilance. City-states often vied for power, defended by skilled warriors and charioteers. Fortified walls and gates guarded cities against rival states and raiders, reflecting the era's turbulent politics. Trade connected Sumer to far reaches. Copper from Oman, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, and cedarwood from Lebanon flowed through bustling markets and river ports. Cylinder seals, intricately carved and rolled over wet clay, secured transactions, acting like personal signatures and contracts. Sumerians were pioneers in science and medicine, observing the stars to develop calendars, recording medical knowledge, and crafting tools used for healing. Their curiosity laid the groundwork for future civilizations' advances in astronomy and medicine. Their daily lives, innovations, and challenges are preserved in archaeological remains, ruins, and artifacts that reveal a society rich in culture, knowledge, and human spirit. As the city-states of Sumer grew, the role of kings became central to society's organization and stability. These monarchs were not mere rulers. They were seen as divinely appointed intermediaries between the gods and the people, wielding both political and religious authority. Kings commanded armies to defend the city and expand territories, supervised the construction of monumental architecture, and oversaw intricate irrigation systems essential for agriculture's success. They maintained order by implementing laws and resolving disputes. Though often in conflict, Sumerian city-states also engaged in diplomacy and trade, forming shifting alliances to balance power. The governance system combined royal authority with councils of elders and priests, highlighting a nuanced political structure. The earliest known law codes, such as the Code of Ur-Nammu, emerged under these rulers, providing guidelines that established justice, protected the weak, and regulated economic transactions. These codes were more than rules. They embodied the civilization's ideals of fairness and order. Kings also reinforced their power by sponsoring grand religious ceremonies and temple activities, strengthening the divine link that legitimized their reign and united the people under shared beliefs. Today, the study of royal inscriptions, tombs, and artifacts reveals the complexity of Sumerian government, showcasing a civilization where leadership was a sacred trust vital to survival and progress. Religion was central to every aspect of ancient Sumerian life, governing social order, inspiring art, and guiding the daily decisions of kings and commoners alike. Sumerians worshipped an intricate pantheon of gods and goddesses, each embodying natural forces and human ideals. The towering ziggurats, temples dedicated to these deities, rose above cities as physical and spiritual focal points. Priests conducted elaborate rituals, invoking divine protection and favor to ensure the continued prosperity of the land and people. Sumerian myths provided explanations for the cosmos and humanity's place within it. From the creation of the world to heroic sagas like the Epic of Gilgamesh, These stories enriched cultural identity and continuity. Writing allowed Sumerians to preserve their spiritual literature, ensuring it transcended time. Religious leaders wielded immense influence, guiding kings and communities through rituals aimed at maintaining cosmic balance. Festivals celebrated seasonal cycles and deific anniversaries, strengthening communal bonds and affirming shared beliefs. Sumerians also held complex views of the afterlife, emphasizing reverence for ancestors and ritual purity. Religious symbols and charms reflected personal and communal hopes for protection and favor, offering a window into the inner spiritual lives of this ancient people. Religion and mythology pulsated through every heartbeat of Sumerian civilization, shaping its legacy not only in stone and script, but in the spiritual roots that still resonate in human culture today. Ancient Sumer was the crucible in which many of humanity's most crucial innovations were forged. Emerging from the fertile plains between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, Sumerians created not only the first cities but the very blueprint of civilization itself. One of their most enduring legacies is the invention of writing, cuneiform, which revolutionized communication. No longer reliant solely on oral tradition, humans began recording everything from trade transactions and legal rulings to myths, poetry, and history. This advancement allowed knowledge to flow across generations, planting the seeds for literacy and education worldwide. Beyond writing, Sumer introduced complex legal systems to govern society. The Code of Ur-Nammu and later Hammurabi's Law Code took inspiration from these early frameworks. Notably, these laws were inscribed publicly, making justice accessible and transparent, embodying the idea that society was bound by rules that protected rights and prescribed duties. Sumerians didn't stop there. Their achievements spanned urban planning, where streets, drainage systems, and communal buildings were thoughtfully designed. Their mathematical advances introduced the concept of base 60 numbering, which persists in how we measure time today, from seconds to minutes, and angular degrees. Astronomical observations made by Sumerian scholars were so accurate that they predicted celestial events and formed early calendars. These insights were pivotal for agriculture, religious festivals, and navigation. Even the arts flourished. Music, sculpture, poetry, and architecture thrived, reflecting a civilization rich with creativity and spirituality. Their influence extended far beyond Mesopotamia, inspiring cultures across the ancient world and echoing through time into our modern lives. The essence of what we call civilization, writing, law, urban life, science, and art, was shaped deeply by the people of Sumer. They ignited a spark of human potential which still burns brightly today. Understanding the story of ancient Sumer invites us to appreciate the creative power of human collaboration and knowledge. Their legacy challenges and inspires us to build on foundations laid thousands of years ago as we continue shaping the future of our civilization.